So what resilience is? There are many definitions, but for our purposes, we consider resilience as our ability to bounce back from any adverse circumstances that come across our way in our life. And it sounds quite big, and there are of course big circumstances in our life, like serious illness or serious injury, losing a job, losing somebody dear in the family. Those are big things, but there are also other circumstances that may throw us off balance, which can be a big conflict or a small conflict, burning conflict with a colleague or with a child, or kind of internal conflict within us. All these circumstances require that we are able to find the place of strength, as the place of power, and the place of resources within ourselves. And that ability to find this place that allows us to be back into the driving seat, whatever the circumstances, is a skill. And that's what we are practicing during the yoga sessions. So we apply yoga approach and yoga poses, yoga breathing and yoga meditations in order to build this ability in us, which is always present, by the way, to connect to that place of power, place of certainty, place of resources inside ourselves. So today we continue focusing on building this resilient element in ourselves, and the first element is being able to pay attention to what is going on. And the first thing that happens in any challenging circumstances is that our mind and body reacts in almost automatic way. So the most important thing for us to be able to bounce back in a position of balance is to notice that we are off balance. And it sounds obvious, but it's sometimes not so obvious. So our heart starts rushing, the pulse increases, and we still do not notice that we are actually in a stress situation. So the first thing is to be able to take a pause and to notice that something is going on that makes us take a decision maybe which is not very well thought. And today we're going to start by cultivating this ability to pay attention, the mindfulness of the breath, by simply tuning in with our natural breath. So breath in resilient terms is also our anchor to that place of safety, certainty and power that is always present in us. We can access that place by first paying attention to the breath and then by exercising a certain control on our breath. We can't slow down our heart rate directly, we can't slow down any function in our body at will, such as production of adrenaline or other stress hormones, but we can control our breath. And this what we are training ourselves to do, to be able to pay attention to the breath first, and then through the attention we can also start exercising control of our breath, so we can induce the state of relaxation, state of power and self-confidence, from which we can then take a right decision or take a right action. So for today we're gonna just focus on allowing our breath to flow in a natural way through the body. And if you find this exercise boring, for a few moments hold your breath. And you can also pinch your nose with your fingers so that you can not inhale through the nose. Just hold your breath for a minute or two. And very often you find your breath immediately very interesting after that exercise, because it is so essential. And there are so many aspects to your breath. You can notice where your breath is felt in your body, paying attention to the expansion of your belly, to the movement of your ribcage, and movement of your shoulders. And for this breath observation, you don't need to manipulate your breath. So allow your breath to be what it is. But you can start paying attention how your breath feels in the body? Is it shallow breath? Are your inhales are longer or shorter than exhales? Do you feel your lungs completely as you breathe in, or you breathe just halfway? Do you feel that you empty your lungs completely when you breathe out? What is happening factually? You don't need to change, you just need to notice. And for the few next breaths, notice how the air enters your nostrils. Notice the temperature, the difference in temperature as the air comes in and when the air comes out. And if you start having thoughts or emotions or feelings that arise during this meditative exercise, gently draw your attention back to your focus on the breath. And it's not an intense focus, it's just an observation. You just notice, feel the breath. And whenever your attention wavers away, wanders away from the observation of the breath, gently bring it back. Slowly we are building the first step in our ability to control the breath, is our ability to notice and feel the breath in our body. Take a couple of natural breaths in and out. And then release your attention from the breath observation and take a moment to set the intention for this practice. As always, an intention is something that you want to manifest more fully in your life. And it's formulated in the present tense, in positive terms. I'm calm and relaxed. I'm healthy and strong. I'm lovable. I'm caring. To repeat it to yourself silently 3 times. And then releasing everything and slowly opening your eyes. We're going to shake our legs. So we are moving to our yoga practice, and today is going to be a shoulder sequence which you can practice as a short break anytime you feel that you need a break from your desk or from any other position of concentration when you are really static. So please recross your legs. Whatever shin was in front, you change the position. And we start by first activating our spine. So sitting cross-legged, we're going to grab our knees and we're going to exhale and round our back, chin towards the chest. And inhaling, we're going to draw the chest up. And then we continue with our breath, exhaling, rounding, chin towards the chest, and inhaling, drawing the chest forward, chin up, head up, and continue with your breath. You can also activate it. If you want to relax a bit deeper, you slow down your breath. And if you want to pump some energy, because you need that energy after our yoga session, you can go faster. So activating the breathing, making it a more active and faster as a breathing rhythm will do this purpose. And one more time, rounding, exhaling and inhaling in a neutral position. And once again we shake our legs and we cross our legs again in a different position. And then we go into our shoulder sequence. So we're going to bring the arms towards the side, so making sure that you sit straight. And again, if you feel that you start rounding your back and falling with your pelvis backwards, tilting your pelvis backwards, sit straight. We would like to have a straight spine in this sequence. So So inhaling, arms up, and we're gonna lift our shoulders so our neck almost not visible, and then we drop our shoulders. We lift our shoulders and we drop our shoulders. So feel this movement of the scapula, the shoulder blades down the spine a few times, and then we're gonna interlace the fingers and change the interlace, by the way. So if you grab your fingers in a specific way, change the grip, and then flip the palms up, and then lower your shoulders down once again. And for a couple of breaths, try to bring your ribcage a little bit down. The elbows are moving behind the ears. This is a direction, you don't need to force anything. And you try to keep your arms straight and the palms of the hands facing towards the ceiling. Keep on breathing. One more breath. And then we're going to release the hands, left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Before you twist, you're going to lift your chest up. So press this back hand towards the floor so you can pump your chest up. And from that long, tall spine, we start rotating to look over the right shoulder. And you can make it a dynamic pose. So each inhale, straightening, lifting a little bit more from the sitting bones, relaxing the shoulders. And as you exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. And once you feel you reached your maximum, which doesn't need to be your physical maximum, we are not very warm yet, just resolve to stay in a certain position for a few breaths and continue breathing deeply, expanding the ribcage, allowing your breath to initiate from the belly. One more breath here. And on a big inhale, we're going to bring the right arm over the right ear, and we rotate our chest to look towards the sky, and we start bringing our left shoulder towards the left knee. So imagine there is an eye in the middle of your chest that wants to go to look straight towards the sky. So keep on rotating the chest. That creates this nice stretch on the right side of your ribcage, the right side of the waist area. Keep on breathing. One more breath here. And inhaling, lifting up and crossing the right hand over the left knee. And we're gonna squeeze with the hands the knees, and the knees will press the hands away. And at the same time, we're gonna spread the area in between our shoulder blades, and the chin goes towards the chest. So it's a quite strong stretch in that area in between the shoulder blades and our back. So feel the appropriate measure of the stretch, but don't overdo it. Keep on breathing. A few breaths here. Really expanding the back, the area in between your shoulder blades with each inhale. And then exhaling, releasing the arms, and we're gonna open the arms towards the side to our maximum, so your shoulder blades connect. And then right elbow on top of the left elbow. We're gonna walk our fingertips behind the back, so maybe grabbing your shoulder blades. So hooking your fingers somewhere and squeezing your chest a few times. And then we will start moving the upper body in circles. So you can make it a relatively shallow movement where you just rotate the upper back. But you can also gradually start moving more forward, more backwards. And we're gonna move in the circular motion in both directions. So after a few rounds, counterclockwise, you want to repeat the same clockwise. And going as deep as you would like, or as shallow as you would like, as feels good. And then we stop in the middle and we shake everything. So let go of your arms, maybe doing a couple of times, lifting the shoulders and dropping the shoulders. And then we're gonna shake our legs and recross them again. So changing the position in our cross-legged situation, and repeat the sequence on the other side. So our arms up, lifted, and few times lifting the shoulders and dropping the shoulders. So just focus on this movement that you can control the muscles on your back that lifts the scapula, the shoulder blades up and down. And then we're going to interlace the fingers, and this time you can interlace in the way that feels comfortable. And then flipping the palms up, and for a few breaths focusing on bringing the shoulders down, keeping the straight back. And very, very slowly, maybe gaining a few inches at a time, bringing the elbows behind the ears, preferably with straight arms. And on the exhale, releasing the hands, right hand, left knee, left hand behind, tall spine lifting up, and slowly rotating. Finding your edge where you can stay still for a few breaths. And before that, using each breath, you extend and elongate your spine, and as you exhale, you release a bit deeper in the twist. You create a positive stress on the vertebra, making our spine alive and flexible. So when you find your edge, you stay there for a few breaths, focusing on deep and relaxed breathing. And on the next exhale, you release, and inhaling the left arm over the left ear, right shoulder moves towards the right knee, and you keep on rotating the chest so that it faces the ceiling. And it may be difficult to breathe in this situation, in this position, but just use your breath to expand and to stretch the ribcage on the right and left side, so it creates space. One more breath. And inhaling, lifting and lowering the left arm towards the right knee. And exhaling, we're gonna squeeze the knees towards each other, pulling on our hands, and the knees press away. The chin relaxed towards the chest, and we expand the area in between our shoulder blades. The same action, but a different elbow in front. Few deep breaths. And exhaling, releasing, and opening the arms again towards the side, connecting the shoulder blades, and this time left elbow on top, fingers move behind the back, squeezing your chest a couple of times, and when you're ready, start making circles. So going deeper, one direction and the other direction. And then one more breath, one more round. And we release, and we shake everything, including the legs. So if you want, you can do windshield wipers here. So just release something in your hips. Allow your knees to drop towards the left and towards the right. Feet apart or feet together as you wish. And then we're gonna move on our back, and we're gonna bring our knees towards the chest. So hugging the knees towards the chest a couple of times. We're gonna Make a couple of circles on our back. And then we're gonna release the legs, feet, hip width apart. And we're gonna open our arms towards the side. And we're gonna allow our knees to drop towards the right side. And you can stay here, so it's just a variation of the spinal twist. For deeper action in your hips and in the IT bend, you may wish to place the right foot on top of the left knee, and you feel a bit more sensation of the stretch maybe on the left side. It's completely optional. You can keep your head also in a neutral position, or you can look into the left side opposite to the knees. And just don't forget to breathe always without holding the breath in the pose. Allow oxygen to fill your body, nourish each and every cell. And one more breath here. And then a big inhale, we bring the knees back up, and maybe we shake our legs in the air a few times, maybe flexing the ankles and rotating the ankles. It's a sort of inverted easy position where the blood flows towards the heart from the legs, reversing the movement of the blood. And then we place the feet on the ground and we repeat that twist or variation, whatever you are doing on the other side. So feet are hip width apart, allow your knees to drop towards the left side. And for extra action in your hips and thighs, you bring the left ankle, left foot on top of the right knee, and you can stay with your face towards the ceiling or turn the head towards the right. A few breaths. And on the next inhale, we bring the knees back up, release the left foot, and last time we're gonna hug our knees towards the chest. It feels good. Rotating and making circles with your knees towards the chest. And we're gonna move into Shavasana in a second. But before that, we're gonna hold the pose of maximum tension. And I would like to invite you to pay attention what is happening to the heart rate, to the sensation of the body when you assume in a moment this position of maximum tension, where we tense all the muscles in our body, including the face, and when we hold the breath. So we're gonna extend the legs and extend the arms with the palms facing up, legs together, and we're gonna lift the chest, lift the shoulders, so the shoulder blades and the shoulders off the ground, and we flex our toes towards the face, and then we make big fists, and in a moment we're gonna lift the upper body, the shoulders and the legs off the ground, inhaling and holding the breath. Ready? And inhale and hold. Stay there, hold. Higher. Lifting higher. All the face muscles are tense. No breathing. No breathing. Stay. And now exhale, release everything. And just feel what is happening in your body. You can let go any remaining tension and and relaxing the muscles with the exhale through the mouth. So take an extra deep breath through the nose and exhale through the mouth, and you can add a sound to it, really making this a sound of relief, release of any tension. And now very slowly allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And notice how your heart rate goes down, how the throbbing in your veins, in your arms, your neck becomes softer. And just let go of everything, let go of any tension and any attention to any place of your body. Just relax completely, let go. Now start taking a deeper inhales and exhales. We're gonna come out of Shavasana by waking up our body, moving the fingers and toes. And then bringing the arms behind the head and stretching everything. So pointing the toes and stretching your arms, making yourself long, feeling the muscles in your body. Relax. And very slowly, by placing the feet on the ground, bending the knees, we're gonna roll towards our right or left side. For a moment, pausing there, taking a breath or two. Imagining ourselves lying on the floor without opening the eyes. And then helping yourself with the hands. You're gonna assume a sitting position, cross-legged, or any other meditative posture. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your arms. And feeling the alignment in your spine, so you have a subjectively the sensation that your spine is tall and straight from the sitting bones up to the crown of your head. There is a straight line. And you take a moment to record your intention, to help focus your mind on the things that are really important in your life. So repeat your intention 3 times silently in your head. Make it a mental imprint, a mental resolution for your mind to focus on. And we finish the session by bringing the hands in front of the chest in Namaste, opening the eyes and bowing over the hands in gratitude for finding time to practice. Namaste. Be well.